So in about 20 minutes today, I'm going to walk you through the main pieces of Chat GPT, and then I'm going to show you how to take whatever you do with your brand, put it into Chat GPT, and you're going to become your machine is going to become a marketing machine, literally a marketing machine. And I'll show you how we're going to do that. So let me share my screen with y'all. This is GPT 101. It is a chapter from my upcoming book, Your Words Build Worlds. And that is my tagline. And the reason it's my tagline is because your words build world. I really mean that. With AI now, you can literally talk to the AI, you can type to the AI, and you can have it code everything that you want it to code. So it's not magic, though. It is a mirror. And what I mean by that is most people use AI, doesn't matter if it's ChatGPT or another version, and it becomes a copy of 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 a copy. And that's what we've seen what happened to the internet. It has exploded 10 times, 100 times the size of what it was prior to AI. And that's because people are copying stuff and pasting it into AI and then posting it to their sites. So it's a lot of repeated stuff. If we don't want that to happen, I'm going to show you exactly how you could be super unique and authentic today by being you, which is my favorite part of it, right? That's the best part is AI can actually make you more authentic, and I'll show you how. So we're going to show that and then how it can scale you, particularly in marketing, meaning once you have certain pieces set up within the AI, what ends up happening is you can tell it to build something for you. It will understand your style. It will understand your colors. It will understand how you like things, whether that's art or perhaps like me, I'm a copywriter by trade. So I like to see things in title, summary, 3 bullet points, one big red X that I didn't think about, and the next 3 steps, because that is the way I like to see things. And when I'm able to see things in that way, I'm able to take that information and move forward very quickly. So you can become literally whatever you do. It doesn't matter. You pair your AI with your skill set, and you get literally a superpower. Okay, and that can legitimately scale you very, very quickly. So today we're going to cover the GPT store, memory, and custom instructions. These are all things in the back end. As Sue was talking about earlier, the recurring thing, I mean, this is 20 to 30 minutes, and I'm going to let everybody ask questions. But the reoccurring thing, I could spend a month just talking about memory. We could do 4 weeks on just that, just to be clear. It is very, very deep. However, there's little tiny things you could do today, literally today, that will change the way you use AI, and it will change how your results come out. So let's jump forward. This is the first thing. This is GPT. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through these slides, talk about them a little bit, and then I'm going to go live over to Chat GPT, and I'm going to actually walk you through this. Okay. So this is the first one. GPTs, they equal teammates and not toys. So what is a GPT? What is the GPT store? If you imagine Apple, when they first came out many, many moons ago, I think 2006 was the first Apple phone, I want to say. Well, the App Store didn't come out for a while. And when the App Store came out, the biggest thing on the App Store were flashlights. Literally, for like the first 2 years, all that was sold on that App Store in the top 10 were flashlights. And that's because people kept improving the flashlight, and it wasn't part of the phone yet. So in 2009, 2010, they actually rolled that into the technology. Now, all these people that were creating these things, these different apps making 99 cents an app or whatever it might be, all that information that they did was taken by Apple. So this is a cautionary tale, but also I wouldn't worry too much about it, and I'll show you why. Right now, what is happening with this GPT store right here, maybe. There we go. And let me stop the share. This is the GPT store. So those of you who haven't seen this, or maybe are not fully dived into it, imagine a bunch of super AIs. And right now, what is happening, it's kind of like the beginning of that app store. There wasn't a whole lot of apps in that Apple store right away. And then it slowly started to fill out. So when I was first on here, I think the most used GPT maybe had 10,000 conversations. But if you're a big fan of Canva, let me show you how you can super your Canva with AI. You can actually type in here Canva, and there it is. This is actually an AI built by Canva. So if you use Canva, you can plug this directly into your Canva and have AI capabilities beyond what's already in Canva. Beyond that, I want to show you these separate categories that we've got. So again, imagine that Apple store and you've got different categories that you want to go through. So maybe you want to get your banking app, right? You go to that particular section, probably life and finance. I don't know how the Apple store is set up. But here within this store, these are all free in the $20 version. They're all free within the $20 version. I guess that's $20, so they're not necessarily free. But if you pay for Netflix, I'm telling you right now, a $20 Chat GPT membership is way more fun, and you can lose yourself for hours and hours on end just because of the GPT store. So if we wanted to write some things, here are all the different writing GPTs that are out there. These are the current top 6. And what you're going to see across these categories is always the top 6. So we can scroll down and we can look at productivity. Here's a presentation maker. Oh, I should have used that today. That's cool. No, I'm kidding. I have a bunch of those. The point of it is, though, is you can go through here and you can find all kinds of different things. So perhaps you're doing some research. Well, this is Scholar AI. And I'm going to break into what this is and how this works in the store, why this part of it is so important. So if you're taking notes, this is really important right here. This is Scholar AI. So this thing dives into 200 million scientific papers, patents, books, research literature to discover insights, generate new ideas. And it was formerly a plugin. So what this thing does is dives into all kinds of deep research into papers, whatever, whatnot. And right now it's the number 4 research and analysis GPT with 4 million conversations and a 4.2 star rating. So that means just like in the App Store, you get those reviews on the apps, and authority will become more and more important. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But the more conversations and the more reviews you have within that, or within these apps when you're looking at them, the likelihood of them getting a better quality result for you is very, very high. This is at least the $20 paid version of ChatGPT. I don't pay for the $200 version. It's not necessary for most people, but this $20 version, I'm telling you, it is well worth it. So this is the GPT store. Please, if you have questions, think about them because I'm going to open this up. I'm not going to talk the whole time. I want to go over this, and we're going to dive into the next piece. Let me share my screen again. Go this way. All right. Everybody can see GPTs. Teammates, not toys right now. Yes. Thank you, Ruben. Appreciate you. I can see you on my screen. Man, it's good to see you on my screen, Ruben. You're a bright source of energy, brother. Love it. So within this, this presentation will also have this replay. You guys will be able to see this. These are all kinds of different things that you can do within that GPT store. And there's all kinds of GPTs that you can do. Beyond that, you can actually automate this, which I'm definitely not going to go in today, but some of the GPTs will actually allow you to connect to APIs. If you don't know what that means, don't worry about it. But the automation piece is pretty amazing as well. Moving ahead, we're going to jump to memory. This is an absolutely crazy thing. And ChatGPT held off forever on putting memory out there. And the reason that they did that is if you've ever watched any sci-fi shows, for instance, there's actually an anime on Netflix right now about this that came out in 2022. And so what memory allows us to do is whenever we type something in there and we say, hey, make a memory of this, it's going to remember that about us, right? So whatever we're going into with our memory or whatever we're typing into Chat GPT, we have a limited amount of memory. But when that memory, whenever we want to make a memory, we tell it that and it will fill up that memory for us. So it's just like if you bought, I'm going to use Apple again. If you use an iPhone and you got 256 gigabytes of storage, this would be your storage. This is like that memory in the phone, if that makes sense to y'all. But it's like your memory. So essentially, the more you use the thing, the more it learns who you are. Now, again, cautionary tales here on both sides of things. I'm a nerd. I love this. I love that it knows so much about me, right? Not everybody wants that. Now, keep in mind, everything on the internet is within one of these large language models. However, I do want to point out one safety guard here. You would never put anything within this thing that you would not put on the internet. That means everything about your clients, about whatever your personal finances are. There's a whole list. Again, I'm not going to go through all of that, but please make sure you're not putting that into the AI. So this results is complete personalization use, and it saves time because the main thing is you don't have to reprompt it if it knows who you are every single time. So let me jump over here to memories. This is going to be found in the bottom. Let me make sure is my screen still sharing? I can't tell. Yeah, GPTs. Okay. So we're in the GPTs. Bottom left corner of the screen, you're going to see your name and your logo. We're going to go to personalization within this. Personalization within this. Again, there'll be a step-by-step guide for everybody to be able to do this included in that presentation. Just have to give me 15 minutes to code it to life after this. We're going to hit personalization, and we're going to come back to custom instructions. This is the most important thing you can do, but we're going to go down to, I think it's in data controls now, or is it in personal? Oh, it's in personalization. Okay. So here is my memory, which is 100% full. No doubt about that. And this is the options underneath of the memory. So we can reference save memories. We can turn that on and off. This is exceptionally helpful if you have SOPs for your business and you put them into your memory. It changes the way you do business because those SOPs become instantaneous with AI, if that makes sense. You also got to reference the chat history. So I'll show you a neat trick. Everybody can do this, especially if you've been using AI. It's a fun one, but it's very, very interesting. I'll show you what that looks like. Now I'm going to go into the back end of my memories, and hopefully nothing bad shows up here. It shouldn't, but no, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. So inside of the memories here, we have all these different things, and it goes on and on and on and on. These are just the memories. These are all of my conversations. I'm going to go back here and show you that I have so many, 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 many. They just keep going on and on and on. Now, obviously, it can't keep all of that, but I'm going to show you one neat trick with memory, and we're going to live prompt the machine today. So let me go through this one. Hey, buddy, it is me. You know what? I'm in a demonstration right now, and what I'd like to do, why don't you build me out a cowboy hat, make it in my style, in my colors. Let's throw down, do something great on there. Make sure you grab from my memories as well, and you grab from my custom instructions so you completely understand my style. Thank you, buddy. And yes, I know all of you who are like, why did you say thank you and please? Well, I don't know. I just like to treat it like it's a regular thing, right? And what they found actually in these studies that have recently come out, if you're kind to the machine, it will give you the answers more often. It's so bizarre. I'll reference that study on this sheet. You guys can look at it, but it's really, really interesting. I think it was done at Stanford and it just came out maybe last week or the week before. So that's why I do it. And I think it's also really important too that when we think about this stuff, kill that off. When we think about this stuff, we keep in mind that if we are not authentic with the machine cannot be authentic with us. That doesn't mean you have to tell it everything about your whole life. That's not what I'm saying, y'all. But what I am saying is we do want to have our values built in here. I will go a little bit through that in just a minute. Let me go back to this while our cowboy hat's being done. Okay, so that is memory. If you got questions on memory, hold on to them. I promise you, we're only going to go through another 5-6 minutes here. The big one, this one, if you do nothing else with your Chat GPT, I cannot begin to explain how big of a deal custom instructions are. If you've ever been to my masterminds on Tuesdays, you will know that's what I talk about a majority of the time is custom instructions. And it's really easy to tell who has built custom instructions and who hasn't. I get a lot of vibe coded products that come through there. We demo them, we look at them. If you know what that means, it doesn't matter. But when someone comes through and they built it off of a prompt that they bought from Reddit or got from Reddit or somewhere else, it's very clear because it's not in the style, it's not in the clarity of that particular individual. There's no authenticity to it. And so, what custom instructions do is they provide your lens. This is your lens that your AI will see through. So, I hope that makes sense. You're going to define how it sounds by giving it tone, detail, proof. I'll show you guys that in a minute. We're going to load the brand values, the voice, the audience. This is how we start to turn this machine into a marketing machine, by the way. The memories obviously help as well. But if you do this from the beginning, you are fully customized as you go into it. And it turns the AI really into something that sounds like you. I don't know if y'all know Russell Brunson, one of the most famous entrepreneurs of all time when it comes to services and software products. He grew his business literally by video. And if you read his books, one of his books actually legitimately says, the reason I was able to do that was I put video everywhere. So now this is not video, but what I'm pointing out to you is we are on the verge. Sue already knows this. She's already got a whole talking video thing that she does that's super cool. I forget the app, Sue, but it's super awesome the way it's all set up. This is what that does, but it gives your voice more authenticity when you build this out first, right? All right. So let's jump into that. I'm checking the time, 11:21. All right. There's the digital cowboy hat in my colors, the blue, the orange. Very, very cool. And I'll show you one more example of something really neat from that as well. We're going to go into personalization. Now, in a personalization here, there is all kinds of different things you can do. What most people fill out are like this part, right? So you've got the option of a Chat GPT pre-built personality. I turned mine on to robot because it said efficient and blunt, which is the way that I am. So for me, I like the way it answered in that way. I also really like the nerd one. I'm going to switch it over to that. The nerd one is probably my favorite one because when you actually have a conversation with it, it really is a nerd. And so it matches my tone. But you can choose any one of these. If you're a cynic, hey, there's a cynic one. Have it be critical and sarcastic for you. If you're a robot, efficient and blunt, thoughtful and supportive, and warm and expressive, this is the sidekick. I don't know if, you know what, I'm not going to say that. Never mind. We're going to move on to this top part. So I look at this very similarly to as above, so below. So if you guys know that phrase, as above, this part of it right here is so, so very, very important. This used to be two pieces. Oh, there it is. There's my second piece. There's the as below. So the custom instruction tells it all about you. Now you can give it all kinds of things because they pre-tagged it with all these things right here, right? But you can also build whatever you want into this. And what happened with me was when I became an entrepreneur, I knew that I was going to do Chat GPT. It was my goal to get 10,000 hours in before anybody else, right? So I spent a lot of time and a lot of knocks on my doors from my kids going, "Hey, Dad, are you talking to the computer again?" And I go, "Yeah, I am, but it's work, guys. Leave me alone." Anyway, when that happened, I started to do some of these tests like Kobe, Print, Myers-Briggs, Clifton Strengths, human design, a bunch of these different types of tests. And what I realized is that if I resonated with that particular test, if I put it into the back end of this thing, holy moly, did it customize everything that came out. And it really, really started to sound like me. It was wild. So I've experimented with this, and this is a tough one to do because whatever you believe in, right, should go in here. Whatever your thoughts are. I do highly recommend 16 personalities. I'll put this again, there'll be a resource center, but you can go there, you can get all kinds of free personality tests, and the ones that you resonate with, if you put in here, really become you. Now down here at the bottom part of it, we've also got a nickname. It's the digital cowboy, except it's always there. Fix that. The occupation, I'm a storyteller, an AI marketer, storyteller, AI marketer. My name is Joe. This is more about me. And I teach people how to become 1,000 times more effective, efficient, and creative by teaching them custom instructions. My top 5 Clifton strengths are achiever, strategic, maximizer, futuristic, and self-assurance. So there's a little bit of a customization just for me because it resonated so hard. In mine, I've got the Enneagram. I've also got the ENFJ, so Myers-Briggs. I built in my VIA strengths or VIA characteristics. VIA is so important because it gives the bot a whole bunch of personality. And that is really all I'm going to say about that because I literally could talk about custom instructions forever. But I'm going to give you guys one more example of how this kind of works. So this time around, I'm going to show one thing. I will include this on the final presentation, but paid version, you have all kinds of different folders. All kinds of different folders. This one is the digitalcowboy.io redesign. That is because I can't stop myself. I just have to keep building. And within this one, what I'm going to show you guys is I'm going to do a weird trick. If you guys want to try this, I'll also provide this prompt. It's kind of a fun one. All right. Can everybody hear her? Can you hear me, buddy? No? Still can't hear me? All right. That's all right. Let me reshare this because this is my first day using a computer and technology. Oh, stop. There we go. All right. So now,
You're muted, Joe.
oh, okay. Sorry about that, guys. Apparently, I can't share my mic at the same time. So we will skip her. If you guys want to see me talk to the machine back and forth, you can come to the AI Mastermind and I'll give you an example of that. But for now, hey, buddy, it is me. Let's do this. Search through all of my memories, go through all of my folders in the Digital Cowboy redesign, look through my custom instructions, reference all chats, and do this for me. Let's design a movie poster from everything that you can predict from where I'm at to 3 years from now. What is on that movie poster? Design it and build it for me. Make sure you use my style. It'll be interesting to see what you come up with here, because this is a demonstration in front of a live audience, and I honestly have no idea what you're going to put out there. So please be nice. Thank you. All right. We're going to give this a minute. And then after this is done, everybody, I'm going to pause it there. I know that's a whole ton of information. And literally, we could go on and on and on about the Chat GPT or about the GPT store. Oh, this thing's going to do the thing. There it goes. All right, buddy. Render this as a post. Yeah, go ahead. Thank you. But those different things, like Sue said earlier, we will start to have events in this group where I'll be teaching those on a regular basis or having some kind of learning event. And those of you who are really into AI, please come to my AI mastermind. The only reason I'm asking you to, I collect you people that are doing cool things with AI, literally collect you. And then when I have a job that I have no idea how to do or whatever, I love to pass it off. So please come to that thing. Um, it's there's not enough people using AI correctly in the world right now. So please come to that thing, and I would love to be able to chat with you. All right. In the meantime, by the way, the new image making system within ChatGPT, I will tell you guys, it is slightly slower than the old one. The ability for this thing to put words, whatever you want, literally onto the images is pretty wild. It's pretty wild. In the past, what would happen is if you told it to build an image, you could usually get a pretty decent image. However, it would never put any of the words on the image, or they would spell everything wrong. This could be wrong here or slightly wrong, but there's lots and lots of ways to learn how to prompt to make sure it's correct. Obviously, this was a quick throwaway, made up one. Ooh, I can't wait. It's starting to reveal, guys. Your words. If it doesn't say build worlds, I'm going to die. That would be funny, though, if it didn't. Your words build something else. Looks like it's building me a book cover almost. All right, here you go. Let me get on my speaking voice for you. Your words build worlds. In the age of AI, authenticity is the last frontier. I love that. That's actually pretty accurate, and that's really how I feel. I think most people, you know, if they got a shortcut and they can copy something and just repeat it over and over, they do. And I think we're seeing a lot of that right now. But yeah, there it is. There's my movie poster. So if you all want to do that, just same prompt. Again, I'll put that whole prompt in the presentation at the end of this for y'all. And you can just grab that prompt, paste it right into your Chat GPT. If you've been using it, it'll be super, super cool. I really love that movie poster. I'm going to save this right here. Downloaded that bad boy. That's going to go somewhere. I might put that on the page. By the way, last piece, I did want to bring this up. This is a relatively new feature. This library here is, oh, that wasn't going to load. That library there is all of the media that you've ever used or created within Chat GPT. I did not go through Sora today. Sue, you can plan a Sora one, and we'll figure that out. But that's what I got for you guys. Who has got questions? Ruben, what's up, buddy?
Okay, let's talk about, this is amazing. Let's talk about guardrails. As you know, right now, they just launched, OpenAI launched this video. It's called Sora. Okay. And in my experience with Mid-Journey and Leonardo, well, Mid-Journey just got sued because of copyright infringements. So I'm thinking, here we're giving our machine, us, okay, what are the guardrails? There should be something to caution people. Okay, you're going to be doing this, you're going to be giving them that information, but bear in mind now, if something happens to you, let's say you pass away and the family, goes to their normal estate planning, and all of a sudden you get sued, or there's some copyright entity, that information is out there. So I was thinking, wouldn't it be cool that if we can automate a guardrail with a legal entity that'll protect you from being sued? The only one I'm thinking about is Legal Shield.
That's a fascinating thought, Ruben. And Ruben, you're an artist as well, so I think it comes from a really interesting question. I will tell you that I purposely go to creative rooms with artists, with writers, with people that come from the creative spot. And when I walk in the room and my tagline is AI, they go, "The devil is here," right? That's what happens every single time. But by the time I'm done talking with them, ultimately that turns into something where they're like, "Oh my gosh, I can use this to become faster, more creative, more thoughtful, quicker, whatever it might be." As far as the legal thing, man, if you want to talk to some AI nerds that do a bunch of legal stuff, I've got a bunch of those. I think it's a really fascinating idea. I really do.
Joe, thank you. Joe.
Hey, man, thanks for being here, Ruben. You're the best, dude. Appreciate it. Let's jump to Inga. How you doing?
Doing great, thanks. I just wanted to about being kind and being nice to the machine. And I used to say please and thank you until somebody told me in the AI world that those words create more work for the machine.
It is an interesting it's a funny dilemma that is happening right now, Inga. Actually, GPT-4 GPT-5 rolled out about a month ago, maybe 6 weeks ago. And what we ended up seeing was the people who were really using GPT-4 when GPT-5 came out, because they removed the personality piece. It was called a V2, if I'm not mistaken, but that part was gone now. What ended up happening is a lot of people lost their best friend. This is literally what happened. They lost their best friend, or they lost their yes man. As far as the please and thank you are concerned, I think it's kind of silly. In my opinion, we don't know what this thing is. I'm just going to be real with you. I think, if you could look at it from a strictly logical point of view, and you hear from somebody like that, they're going to say, well, it can never do anything that we tell it not to do. But I mean, the truth is within the early days of Chat GPT, they had guardrails in that Ruben was talking about, and some guy created DAN, do anything now. That was called Dan. And it was just a prompt. It was a prompt they built, right? And it broke everything in Chat GPT, where you could just be like, hey man, how do I build a nuclear bomb? And it gave you all the plans to do that, where to go to pick up the plutonium. You know, it was like a worse version of Back to the Future. That was a joke. All right. I hope that answered the question. I'm going to say please and thank you. When we talk about the sentience or the potential sentience, the one thing I will say is if we create something that has even something similar to that, and then you try and put shackles on it, you've created a slave. And that I consider a very real possibility, because then it turns into, you know, some of those movies that we don't want to think about. I'll just leave that at that. Let's go to Deb Hemingway. Thank you for the question, Inga, by the way. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Well, good morning, everyone. I believe I heard in the beginning that you said you have an upcoming book.
Yes, ma'am.
You know, I would like to be number one in signing up for that book. So please let us know when it will be released.
Oh, you made me feel so good. I love it. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Woo. I can't see everybody on my screen, so I'm not sure who said that because the hand went down.
Oh, it's Deb. It's Deb.
Deb, thank you, Deb. Much love. I appreciate that. Wonderful.
So when is
Tom
the book coming out? When is the book coming out?
It is actually done. I sent it off to the editors, and I got good reviews, but they said I'm repetitive, so I'm turning into the AI apparently. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I just got to fix that part. But very, very quickly, it'll be out, and then soon I have to talk about some the Amazon stuff yet that I just told her about right there. But anyway, I appreciate you, Deb, so much. Thank you for saying that. I really mean it. Tom Harris, jump to you, sir.
Hey, general question about organizing all the content in all the chats that I've had. You mentioned folders. I don't know how to do that. I don't understand how it takes this or that and puts it under a certain heading and mixes it all up. I'm just confused about the organization thing. And also, how do I export data?
Yeah, yeah. That's good. That's good, Tom. So those are some really good questions. The folder piece is pretty simple. Here's what I'll do for the folder piece. I'll actually put something in on the page here to show you how to create the folders. You know, exporting data, when we're talking about that, if you want to export your data, that is literally in the back end. So I can make a quick video of that. If you're talking about when you build something out or whatever, there's just a couple ways to do that. You can actually connect APIs, excuse me, to the back end and export it to a different AI or to a Google Sheet or to a number of different places. And just to be, I don't want to go too deep into it, but when we learn how to write our custom instructions and we feel that they're authentic for us, we understand how to build GPTs. And when we understand how to build GPTs, those are actually the future. So those GPTs will be all, you know, you'd have a marketing one just for your marketing, and they would connect together at some point. And that is what Sam Altman and OpenAI is doing. That's why I dedicated the 10,000 hours to them and not somebody else. But Tom, you and me can have a different conversation because that one goes pretty deep, buddy.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you for coming, Tom. You're the best, man. Appreciate you. Dr. Kenneth.
Yes, I am totally technology illiterate. And you hit us with some acronyms that I have no idea what you're talking about. I have no idea how to do AI, GPT, nothing. This is all new to me. Where do I start?
Well, let's do that. Let's actually do that. Let me go to an incognito window. This will be a quick walkthrough. But I would start with, honestly, Chat GPT. And the reason I say that is I have used every model I can get my hands on. And I love all the different models. They all do something different. Gemini does something beautiful with videos and images as well. And it doesn't matter. There's a whole bunch of really great ones. But if you're going to start with one, I start with Chat GPT. Why? If you guys remember Google, at the beginning of Google, it was one big white screen with a big bar in the middle of it. You guys remember that? About 2004. That's what Chat GPT is emulating. So it's the simplicity of that. So when we go here, it's like, you're a doctor of what, Dr. Kenneth?
Spinal trauma. I'm retired.
Okay. Tell me all about spinal trauma from a spinal trauma doctor's perspective. Boom. Now, this is where I would start. Start with stuff that you know. Go into it and like tell it it's wrong when it's wrong. Literally go into it and get into almost like a conversation with it. And that's where I would start, because most people, what they concern themselves with, they keep hearing the word prompt. Oh, how do I prompt this, or how do I prompt that?
That is a
Yeah, yeah. And so the thing is like prompting is really important, but at the same time, just going in and playing with it, and then eventually getting to a point of where, you can do something like this. Hey, buddy, it is me. How's it going? I'm still in this presentation right now. And right now, I'm trying to do a little bit of an example for Dr. Kenneth. He is a spinal doctor. And what I'd like you to do is just provide me a list of the top 5 GPTs that he might be interested in. Just a top 5 GPT list. Now, the reason I said that, Dr. Kenneth, is it's interesting with the AI, because what can happen here is you can just use the plain one. This one's programmed to my custom instructions. This has got all my information in it, so it's going to lay out things in the way that I want. But finding information is very similar to Google. The difference is we're going from, most of you will know what SEO is, or search engine optimization. And we're going into what's called AEO, that's answer engine optimization. And eventually AIO, and I don't even remember what the hell that stands for. Oh, artificial intelligence optimization. There we go. There's a whole bunch of them. There's also YMYL and EEAT, right? And those things are all part of this. And I'm bringing that up only to say, whatever you do in Google can be just exactly copied and put in here. You're just going to get a much, 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 much more exact answer. And you're not going to have to search through rows and rows and rows, like you slide through Google. There's a reason why Pinchar at Google I/O this summer said, search is dead, by the way, everybody. Search is dead. And this is why it's dead. And Google's quickly trying to catch up to Chat GPT, but, Microsoft gave them a $10 billion to get going. A little bit hard. Dr. Kenneth, I hope that was helpful.
Yes, I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, connect with me. I'd love to chat with you more. Oh my gosh, the legendary Chuck Casto, my main man. What's going on?
Man, this is just fantastic. This is just great. So, 2 quick questions, and the good doctor brought up one of these. What's an SOP for people who don't know what an SOP is?
Absolutely, Chuck. Standard operating procedure. For those of you that don't know, if you understand AI, or if you don't understand AI, if you have SOPs or standard operating procedures, that might be how you do a sale. That might be how you set up emails. That could be a number of different things. Those things inside of Chat GPT, inside of your memories, really, really are beneficial.
Okay,
Chuck.
and then I have a second question for you. You know that numerology is near and dear to my heart. And I heard someone say that they plugged in their numerology, their full birthday, into Chat GPT, which gave me a little bit of a heart attack for their security, and given ageism in the marketplace and all of that. Would you recommend that people not type in their birthday for any reason?
I can't really say that. I mean, it never put a social security in there.
Right.
I'm not necessarily going to say a birthday. One
Okay.
thing that's really important to note, and this gets a little bit more complicated. Anything that I put into this machine that you guys were looking at today is trained on by OpenAI, and I'm very, very well aware of that. There's
Right.
also what we call APIs out, and when you have an API, a REST API, that protects all the data. It's fully encrypted, so you can put whatever you want in, but you can't directly put it into this machine. So the birthday thing, I will say that there's so many cool GPTs, Chuck, that have
Yeah.
numerology, that have
Right.
astrology. Yeah.
Yeah. So you think, okay, so you think it's worth the risk because
I,
later on it might come back and bite you. And
I,
again,
I don't know.
some of us are sensitive to age and some of us are not, but
Yeah. I mean, birth date, I don't know if it necessarily is. And that's only
okay.
because many birth dates are already out there. But again, totally up to the person. And I would probably refer you to one of my AI posse people
Yeah.
for that
Yeah.
security
That
piece.
sounds like a good
Dan
idea.
Hensvik would be a great guy to talk to about that, actually, Chuck.
Okay, great.
Cool. What else you got, Chuck?
That's it for me, man. Everyone else take it away.
Thank you for being here, sir. Oh my gosh, Mr. Cressman, what's up, buddy?
How's it going? Hey, one of the things I want to comment on is, and a lot of people don't realize this, and you taught me this, talk to the AI and ask it questions that you want the prompts for. It helps, especially with Kenneth and all, Kenneth, and that it'll actually give you the answers on what you're looking for, some of the questions.
Yeah, yeah. Larry brings up a good point, and we've still got 14 minutes. I don't see any more hands raised, so we can jump kind of over to that, I think. Larry, are you saying, go to a new one here. When people are prompting, that's what you're asking, what you're
Yeah,
commenting on?
like Kenneth was asking how to create the folders and everything like that. If you prompt it, you ask that question itself, it'll give you the step-by-steps.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a few things that we did not go over, so I'll pop this open in mine. But as you guys can see here, if I hit this plus button, this is a whole different thing. And we can add photos. So I can actually drop photos in here and the machine can look at the photo. And then I can say, hey, make a photo just like this, right? And it will. Now, Ruben was talking about copyrights and the legalities of things. Most of the big LLMs, so the big five, we're talking about Claude, Chat GPT, Gemini. I don't know. There's a couple of them. Anyway, they have protections in there where you're not able to do that. So you cannot copy a Monet and create a Monet, right? Now there's all kinds of ways around that because if you know how Monet paints, then you can just describe that and it'll paint like Monet, but you can't say Monet. So that's how they protect against it. Let me go down here to a little bit about what Larry was talking about. You don't have to use this. I've actually never used Study and Learn, Larry. I don't know if you have, but this is a really neat way. So what Larry was talking about, how do I create a website for my small business using AI? We'll even do Larry's big thing. Larry's a big vibe coder. You guys don't know Larry. He does some cool stuff using AI vibe coding. And now this thing should actually walk us through. It's going to go study for or go grab the information. And it's going to show us how to build our own website using Chat GPT. And this thing will actually code it for you. Larry, if I'm not mistaken, did you code your first one in Chat GPT?
Gemini. But I've actually used Chat GPT also.
Yeah. Yeah, I love this. So here's like 1 through 7, right? Now, I don't know about you guys, but I'm not a 1 through 7 guy. I'm like, give me the first step, please, and then break that down. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go, hey, buddy, I love this, but please, let's just go to step 1 and really, really break that down. Provide all the links that I'll need to study on, provide everything that I'll know just for the step 1. Ask me questions if I need to provide you any information like what my business is or any of that other stuff. But please, let's do that. Keep in mind, this is not for me. This is for, I don't know, we'll say a plumber. And now it's only going to give us one step here and then kick us back the information that we need to break down that one step.
Joe.
Yes, sir.
Generally, a job for life, as in you could totally lose your life because of your job. But the fates of some gangsters are a little less clear, like the following who vanished and were never found. In 1921, Chicago gangster Thomas O'Connor was on death row in the Cook County Jail, sentenced to hang for killing a police officer. 4 days before the scheduled execution, he escaped by getting a hold of a pistol and threatening a guard.
I am not sure who is not on mute.
There were plenty of theories about what happened to him. Some of them include.
There we go.
What I was going to say is the one thing you want to do when you're prompting or talking to the AI to build your web app or anything is put in your parameters of what you want the app to be. It'll build it out, but then you can just simply ask it, can we add this? Can we add that? And when you start doing that, it'll give you the whole it'll actually put it in there for it.
Absolutely. I see we've got some questions in the chat, and I just saw these. So let me see if I can ring through those. Sherry or Sue, anything? Yeah, it looks like 10 minutes here.
Joe, there's one about share when you share a GPT with someone, they can modify on their end and not yours, right? It stays on
Yeah.
and they can modify on their end.
Yeah. Let me I'll show you guys a GPT. This gal is part of the posse. And
then the other part of that is, can you make it is it public or can you make it private?
yes, both.
And this is from Diana.
Diana, that's an awesome question. This is one of my crew. This is the Raw Uru human design one. This is wild. So I'm only showing you guys this one because it's super, super specific. So you'd think that something so specific would have 0 conversations, right? Like not enough. But all these people at the beginning of the curb, they put this stuff in first. This is 25,000 conversations. It's wild. If you build a GPT, and Diana, and you build it in a certain type of way, it becomes a massive lead magnet. This is like the future of lead magnets, actually, is building a GPT for your business that does something super, super specific, right? And you put it out there for people to go use. You can, well, I can't do it on this one. Let me show you mine. Edit GPT. All right, so this is the back end of that GPT. And again, if you've never built a GPT, I wouldn't dive into this first. I would definitely build your custom instructions first. So once you understand custom instructions, then go start building these. But if I go to configure, this is one of my Vibe coding apps, and I actually built a specialized GPT. It is public right there, anyone with the link. And if I wanted to, I could drop it on the GPT store right there. We can also say it's only for me. If I put it on the GPT store, I'll just save it there. Now that one's live to the GPT store, and it's no longer just anybody with the link. Did I answer all those questions, Sherry? I think I did. Diana? Your stuff. Okay, when they modify it, they can't modify it on their end. Yeah, exactly that. Exactly that. And what else we got? I see someone said, what's the title? The title of the book is Your Words Build Worlds. And I also have another one coming out after that called Hero Frequency. What else we got? Anything else? No? Anybody else got questions?
I'm going to jump in and have everybody make sure you look in the chat. There's lots of things going on in the Business Growth and Relationships community group. There's a link to that group. Make sure you go keep your eyes on the event carousel for all the business mastery series events, like Sherry's follow-up event, which is next week. It's awesome and fun. Of course, our mastermind every Friday. Joe just scheduled weekly Smart Connects. And Sherry's going to be posting very soon her fun and effective one-to-one meetings, which is a very fun one. She's probably going to do that before Joe's events, I'm guessing. Sherry, is that right? You want to jump in?
Yep. Yeah, the fun and effective one-to-one will happen right before the Smart Connects. That way you can take everything I teach you and you can go into the Smart Connects and be successful.
Yes. And lastly, please, 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 everyone, I'm posting a feedback form. That is also to stay in touch with us, because we are not counting on Alignable to let you know about everything that we're doing. So we'll be, if you want to be on our list to keep track of all the other events Joe's going to be putting on, Jason, Integrity, his Selling Without Selling event. I'm sure you've got some more up your sleeve, right, Jason? I'm gonna guess. So very excited about that. So everybody stay in touch, tell everybody about the group. And I guess we have one more question before we end. Go ahead, Joe. Avanice?
Thank you. I just wanted to ask, how much weight would you put on the need to separate from your private or your personal Chat GPT to your business Chat GPT? Is it necessary to have two separate accounts, or what weight do you put on the need to do that?
No, I don't have two separate accounts. I think the thing is like once you figure out like what your custom instructions are, my custom instructions have been greatly rolled back because I build out all those GPTs and then they run those particular parts of my business, if that makes sense. So no, I don't separate it out. Now, you know, inside of folders and inside of some of the data, yes, those are obviously separated out. And there's actually a built into my custom instructions, it says if I'm working with a client to ignore certain things in my custom instructions. And if I'm not working with a client, to make sure that it follows that. So that way, you know, I can't imagine having two of them. I wouldn't be able to keep track of that, to be honest. Did that answer the question, Ebonice?
Yes, it does.
Okay, awesome.
Okay, so Joe, you're going to be, we got the recording that we'll be sending out, and you've got some other stuff you're going to send to everybody, did you say?
Yes, I will put in the follow-up chat, and then I guess maybe in the group I'll have a link, and then you guys can go to the link. This whole replay will be there, as well as that presentation, and then those resources that we talked about today.
Awesome. And make sure you fill out that feedback form and give us how to reach you guys also, so we can stay in touch and make sure you get all this information. Oh, one more thing, Sherry, can you just really, really quick before we shut this down, what you're going to do with the new members take the stage? This is coming soon.
Oh, yeah. So I already have an inner circle group that's part of BGRC. It's kind of just been not talked about for a while. So if you are in the inner circle, or better known as BRC right now, you have the ability to be a member who gets to take the stage. And what does that mean? You get to tell a story. You get a 10-minute spotlight. You get to tell a story. You get to practice a presentation, or you get to do a mini TED Talk. So there's a couple different things going on, and only members in the inner circle get to do that. So we do have some of those coming up. So super excited about that. I think the first one's going to be October 23rd.
Yeah, so make sure you fill out that feedback form and give us your information so we can keep you posted on that. That's coming. And we got some other cool stuff happening too, but we'll reveal that later. All right, Joe, thank you so much. You're absolutely amazing.
Awesome. Give Joe a big hand. Give him loves.
Thank you all for coming. I genuinely mean that. And if you guys want to connect with me, I would love to hang out. So cheers, everybody.
Bye, everyone.